following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Mayaro couple found guilty of baby Raheim Clarke's demise. A Mayaro man has been convicted of the 2008 homicide of the 9-month-old baby he had previously thought was his son. His common-law wife was found guilty of manslaughter because she did not intervene when the boy met his demise. Justice Gail Gonzalez convicted Kelt Kirk and Sherrianne Lelou after a judge-only virtual trial for the homicide of Raheim Clarke on July 2, 2008. Lelou is expected to be sentenced in September. In her verdict, Gonzalez said she was satisfied Kirk's Raheim, who died of the blows. In her autopsy report, state pathologist Dr. Eslyn MacDonald Burris said the injuries on the child's body were consistent with blunt force trauma and were all fresh. She also observed mild staining in the groin area. There were bruises on the inner surface of the lips. A small amount of liquid was oozing from the external genitalia. She said that due to the degree of injury, Raheim would not have survived for more than a day after the injury. Burris ruled out the possibility that Raheim was with a belt or an object with a sharp edge, injured by falling off a bed onto a wooden floor, or someone squeezing with their hands unless it was in a restraint. She was of the view that the injury was caused by a blow to the right side of the head with a blunt object. The cause of death was a blow to the right side of the head, which caused the head injury and hemorrhage, the judge said in her verdict. She also said she was satisfied Lelou had a duty of care to Raheim, but breached it by failing to intervene when Kirk was the boy. Raheim died as a result of the blow or blows inflicted by Kirk, making Lelou liable by her inaction. It was the prosecution's evidence that Raheim's mother, who at some point lived with Kirk and Lelou and their daughter in the same room, found out about a month before the child's death that Kirk was not the father, but she had not told him. 2 weeks after leaving Kirk's home on June 29, 2008, the boy's mother asked him to take care of the child. When she returned the next day, he told her it was too late to take the boy. When she went back on July 1, he again asked if the boy could spend another night. The next morning, Kirk took Raheim to the Mayaro District Hospital. The child was unresponsive with no pulse, no heartbeat, and fixed dilated pupils. Doctors saw bruises on the child's face, nail marks around his neck, and a cut under his upper lip. The police were contacted, and Kirk told them that the child fell off a bed. In that interview, Kirk said that Raheim was ill the night before and was continually defecating on himself. The morning he died, Kirk said he was outside when he heard Raheim fall off the bed. He said the boy looked unharmed, but while he was returning outside, Raheim began gasping for breath and stopped breathing. Kirk admitted the child the night before, but said there were small slaps. He denied being responsible for the scratches. Lelou also claimed Raheim had fallen off the bed and stopped breathing, but admitted that Kirk the child on the face before on his foot and hands with a dabbler. When interviewed again, Kirk claimed he lied to protect Lelou and it was she who beat Raheim. He said after he went out, he returned to see the marks on the boy's skin, and Lelou told him she had the child with her hand and dabbler. He also told police Lelou was unhappy about Raheim's presence at the house, and they had an argument. He also admitted to giving the child a few to get him to behave when he started fussing after being put down to sleep. The couple gave several interviews to the police which were recorded in writing. Clarke did not testify at his virtual trial, but his defense was that he did not Raheim with severity such as to cause injury. Lalou also did not testify. Her defense was that she played no part in the child and that it was Clarke, the boy, with a backhand slap and the dabbler. In her verdict, Gonzalez said much of Clarke's explanations to the police seemed contrived. I found that Clarke went out of his way to paint Lalou as having motive and opportunity to hurt Raheim. I did not accept as true Clarke's account of Lalou's role in this incident. He was trying to cast all blame on her, to hide his own involvement in the matter. Of Lalou's actions and culpability, the judge said her duty was to protect the boy, but instead of calling the police or seeking help from relatives, she tried to conceal the evidence. Lalou had hidden the dabbler behind a washing machine. She also said she rubbed down the child and put warm rags on his bruises so that his mother would not see the swelling. She knew that Raheim was in her care, whether she liked it or not. She knew that as a result of that, she had to provide for and protect him. She knew that if she did not intervene when under a duty to do so, she was encouraging it and therefore responsible for the consequences. It is no excuse that, according to her, she did not expect it to reach so far. She also said she found support for Clarke's guilt in the lies he told and was sure he did not lie for an innocent reason. By his admission, Clarke had struck Raheim Monday, Tuesday, and up to the Wednesday morning that he died. Clarke specifically and deliberately by his lie sought to say that the injuries sustained by Raheim were accidental. I was sure that the only reason he told such a lie was because he was conscious of his guilt and he wanted to cast suspicion away from himself. The state was represented by prosecutors Indira Chinibas and Kezia Gray Burkett. Rekha Ramkit represented Clarke, and Selwyn Ramlell and public defender Axia Edwards represented Lalou.